That's the only difference between these two teams. And this is also a perfectly identical map. It's one of the perfectly symmetrical maps for Riposte. This is why it was a very good map to use in a tournament setting, other than Ocean as a tiebreaker, because there's no perceived advantage, because all the other maps are asymmetrical. So there's always a perceived, oh well, north is better or south is better. Here it just doesn't matter. Alright, so same setup, same direction. Guys, it's your cousin, the team, going in the same direction, heading into Bravo. Guess a rush on an early B cap. Now, presuming that somebody here has an RPF, they'll know roughly the direction the enemy's proceeding. It's kind of hyper risky to push down the alternate backline, you know, down this way to Bravo or down this way up to Alpha. It's safer to kind of move into your cap because you have natural kind of cover. You know, you've got your island, you're protected from kind of in this direction, and anyone who goes wide doesn't have island cover. So, and they can't get into the cap either because they have to go around and they have nowhere to escape. That's usually why teams will kind of go, like the north will go A and the south will go B, which is exactly what's happened right now. Nelson's not the fastest ship in the world, but he's chugging along. I gotta say, the art designer who did the Union Jack, or this, you know, the United Kingdom's flag, did a really terrible job when it came to skinning it on ships. It just looks horrendous. It's so butt ugly. Anyway, and then Glum, he's sporting some kind of flowy, flashy kind of lines. Oh, that's kind of plain and boring. No matter. Right, back onto the actual game. Slight advantage towards GWDYC, your cousin. If only because they grabbed the capture point first. And we're talking like 2-3 seconds. If the game were somehow to go super long and go down to points, then the B team would have the advantage. If it was a rank battle, or if it was a competitive battle, sometimes grabbing the cap first, it means you're winning, and it means it forces the enemy team to push. But given a 3 versus 3, we'll see if that's the case. Now, interestingly, Steel James is playing it safe. He doesn't want to go nose in. He's staying slightly moved out. The Cleveland from Glum, he's moving up to the island so he can shoot over and not be detected. And Mada is decided, I don't need to go forward. We're in the lead. You have to come to us. A smoke from the enemy Mada from Cap of the Hut. It's gone down. It's probably to lead the Chapayev into A. Probably because its detection range is a little bit higher, but then again, it's only like 10 kilometers. And we see here, we're talking 11 kilometers for the Cleveland. So, I mean, he probably could have got in without needing to do the smoke. And it's a waiting game. And it's experienced teams. We have the lead, this being guys that dated your cousins. We don't need to engage. Oh. So what's happened now is that 11.7 kilometers, the Chapayev has now used his radar. And that gives them sight on the Cleveland. So we had opening shots from the Cleveland and presumably the Nelson. So, but what has the radar achieved? Well, it's told them where they are. They know where the destroyer is. They know where the Cleveland is. They don't know where the enemy Nelson is. And they can tell, okay, well, the enemy's here. And we don't know where the other guy is. And you've got some position knowledge. But in terms of damage from the radar, not that helpful. Plus, now that the radar is down, because it only lasts between, 20 or so seconds. Oh. It's safe for the Mada to maybe have a look around. They saw the Nelson ever so briefly kind of nosing and lumping up to this island and maybe kind of seeing what you can get a shot at. It's mainly because of the detection distance of the Nelson and the Mada, just as it was passing the channel there, got a sight. How do you attack in this map? Like, if we're looking at this map, if you're the enemy team, do you just collectively as a team push? Thing is, the mana is here, and he will look for pushes, and there are channels, so he can try and just do kind of blocking torps, plus the Cleveland and Nelson. You see how they're actually reversing in, tail in wise, due to the logo? That means that it's easy for them to run away, plus they're facing away. It's just so much easier to be the defenders, kind of running away from the enemy. Good angling, very difficult to hit and make meaningful damage. Guessing the Mada is having a little look perhaps on the flank. Oh, there we go. So by passing the island, he sees Iceman, and the first set of shots are up and now. Because it's behind islands, they don't see the Nelson, and they probably don't see that Cleveland until the next set of... Now, the Cleveland might be spotted because of possible destroyers, but they may not see it because there's no one to spot them until the next set of radars. And the Nelson now is open to farm. Now, do we have wide flankers? That's the thing. Now, this DD is spotting the Nelson. He can just sit here. Now, when he goes back, the Nelson should disappear soon. Ooh, the man is actually spotted. I'm guessing maybe another Chapayev radar, possibly from behind the island chain over here. Because this looks very much... Yeah, because he's within 11.7 kilometers, and we can see shots going on in the Cleveland from the detection, which is what's happening right now. These will be Chapayev radar shots. So, again, cruisers can't heal. So the Mada and the cruiser... Ooh, hello! So the Cleveland's thinking, I'm ship detected, I'm not radar detected. So that's 9 kilometers. So the Cleveland has popped his 9 kilometer radar, and he's spotted the Mada. So the Mada's trying to do like a wide flanking kind of spot. And torp, so this is probably the Cleveland's hydro is up. He's going to slow down and turn in. The Mada is just outside 9 kilometers so long. No, he's 8.9, he's 9 kilometers, he's 8.9 again. Shots from the Cleveland coming out. So now either the radar ends or the destroyer is able to push out. Glum, however, he's down half health. But the Mada realizing, hey, you don't have a destroyer here. You just have a cruisers behind the island here, over here. I can't be shot. So I'm going to come up, and look, this Nelson does not have a hydro. He does not have like a supporting ship, and the radar from the Chapayev is over. So we should get, even though his nose in, 1, maybe 2 torpedo connections on the Nelson, and these will hit hard from the Mada. Oh, he's turning in on that one. Okay, so he's got lucky. And it's 1. So, is he flooding? I'm not seeing any lights, so no. So there's no flooding, he's just letting the fire burn. But he's down to 15,000. Look at Steel James at full health. Now, the Cleveland is also down to 6k. The Chapayev is just farming as he's backing away. And the thing is, the Cleveland's being perma-spotted by the destroyer. Now the issue is, oh, here comes one of the Nelson heals. I'll have a new battleship, please. Whoa, that was a good hit by the enemy Nelson from Steel James, taking him down a couple of k. And the question is, how accurate is the Chapayev at around 17-18 kilometers? Now, hello. Cleveland sees the Mada. Mada opens up fire. Does he have a smoke? Oh, he's inside that minimum detection range. He's at 5 kilometers. He's thinking, you know what, I can have you. I can take you. But this is where... Okay, so hot smoke's up. Glum is spotted for a while. The Nelson from... the Nelson goes down. So Steel James just didn't even need to move. Hiding behind islands. Just blaps Iceman. He's taken down. Now for Tengo to come back into this, they need to kill this Cleveland, but they can't see him. He's running away from the smoke, and the Cleveland's radar, I'm guessing, is back up. So he can see Kappa, but Kappa can't see Cleveland, so the smoke is now working against Kappa. And he's taken a ton of damage, plus, don't forget, Adrenaline Rush from the Cleveland is in full force right now. I don't see him doing 3,000 damage. Look, I don't think he's got IFHE either. Oh, that's it. Cleveland just ate the DD alive, totally alone. And now the problem is, the Chapayev is out of position. Like, the Chapayev might kill the Cleveland from Glum, but if Glum is smart, he doesn't need to go anywhere. He just needs to back off, stay back outside of minimum detection range of the cap. So he's got gun range on the B cap, but he's far away enough that he can't be seen, you know, visual detection. The Mana can do kind of, he can do somewhat detection, but again, you don't want to get caught by the 11.7 kilometer radar. And then Steel James, well, he doesn't have to worry about too much. He can just kind of turn a little bit nose in, and he's just waiting for it to expose itself, and he will smash the enemy cruiser. So it's a big advantage right now to guys that dated your cousins. I'm not sure the Nelson on the enemy team felt like he had to push, or he was taking huge hits from Steel James. Maybe the Nelson wanted to just kind of push past this island over here and then get some shots in the Cleveland and guarantee the kill, but he sat... Oh, hello there. AP shots on El Snackman. 6k? As Cleveland probably won't open fire unless he absolutely needs to. The Destroyer can't actually help at this moment because he's in the wrong position right now. Cleveland is too far back from range to accurate shots. This is technically a 1 versus 1. I just don't know how a Chapayev firing at the nose of a Nelson that can heal and has a damage con and there's no fires, is going to win this. He needs to get close for armor bouncing and try and get a torps or something. It's tricky. Because the Nelson's broadside, should he be using AP? He's got himself a fire. Oof. Just the AP from the Nelson, 16-inch, it's just smashing into the Chapayev. We also see the Geta. Oh, there you go. The DD from Cousins was also firing in there, but after that, the splitting up. There's a couple of things that happened in this game. One, the crucial ones is guys that is your Cousins, they got the cap first, and they were just going to play the passive waiting game because we're in the lead. We will wait all the way to the end of the time limit, so we're just going to wait, right? So it's then on the other team, Tengo, to make the push, and Tengo splits up into 3 separate units. Cruiser behind islands in one group using radars, Destroyer way by himself, but the Hydro from the Cruiser isn't able to spot incoming torps, plus the battleship from the guys that is your sisters or / cousins, they're fine. Their battleship's covered. He's not going to get torped because he's behind an island type cover. The Nelson of Tengo probably should have stayed further back behind his own island so he doesn't get torped and fired, but because they didn't get the cap first, they needed to push and go forwards. So, awkward. All times as bad. It's very high level plays though. What happened and why it happened. Anyway, let's check